We are going to talk today about underground cities and underground tunnels. There are texts called Zoroaster that talks about a catastrophic event that devastated the earth, a sudden and brief age called the Day of Malkush, which lasted about 3 years. Before this disaster occurred, a deity offered a means of salvation to build underground city to protect themselves from the frost. There is also a city called Derinkuyu, a mysterious underground city located in Cappadocia. This is a region in Turkey. According to the archaeologist, the center of this city already existed 2,800 years ago, at least 8th century before Christ. We are talking about an entire city excavated at the depth of 85 meters, capable of housing 20,000 people. It's likely that natural cave also predate this date. I like to show you now some pictures of this underground city. That's how it looks like. The Rincuyi, it's not a simple cave, it's a complex structure with 18 underground levels. They had schools, they had marketplace. It was discovered in 1960, rediscovered in 1963. It's a touristic attraction in Turkey. But is not an isolated case. Under a lot of pyramids in around the world, there are underground tunnels. Guatemala, beneath the Mayan pyramid of Tikal, 800 kilometers of tunnels have already been discovered. Underground Giza pyramid, also large underground tunnels. But apparently, the entire world is covered with a series of tunnels, underground tunnels, connected through a sort of public transportation. This is the city of Derinkuyu. It has a planned structure. Okay. Let's go to the next file and see pictures of underground tunnels. Google show you that certain words over the course of multiple centuries of literature, the word rail was merely rediscovered across the globe in the 1800s. And actually, came from an earlier time. Since 1500, you had a similar word. At the beginning of 1500, we had a term, and then completely the term was cut out from the use until 1800. In 1800, we had a tubular railway. New invention, theoretically, but practically the transportation between different underground places was in existence. And now let's see how this railway looked like in 1800. These are images from New York. It was a pneumatic railway transportation with a round tubular cars. View from the tunnel towards the station, showing the pneumatic car. Victorian hyperloop or old world transportation. We had a planning on this corner. Planning, the use, and actually a real cars, and they transport children, underground children. This railway, a pneumatic railway system, was quite comfortable. You see, they had a sort of illumination. It doesn't look like uh, lamp. It is a lamp, but seems to be an electrical lamp, 1800s. The passenger cars, the pneumatic 1870 transit, the history of energy systems. I have this information in my book, Energy Project. Portal of the Broadway Tunnel. So Broadway is in Manhattan, New York City, United States of America. The proof that these tunnels existed is the fact that there are still stations, subway station, that look very similar with the one that I'm going to show you. Observe, electrical system 1870. They could have been merely rediscovered. Then we have people inside these cars. The cars are show that the tunnels are quite old. Why are they round and not square? Apparently, there was a technology that in the past that looked like a bore machine that uh, punch a hole into the rock and then vitrified the rock. And then they just plucked the interior with the tiles. After a while, these tunnels were covered intentionally, or in 1800 were actually rediscovered. They could have been old tunnels. They show the machine that actually cut into the ground and vitrify the exterior, and people just are used just to tile the interior of this cylinder. It seems to be under a railway interior of a passenger car. Interesting enough, if you go now in Manhattan, across the water in New Jersey, there is a very large railway station that it's not used anymore. Probably there are you can see there the older style of subway system. It's not used. I have actually an article about that. Now we see different types of tubular system of transportation. Here we need to acknowledge the existence of of some books that talk about the existence of underground cities, and connection between these cities are done using a sort of public transportation, underground public transportation. These cities, now I found how some cars look like. I'm going to show you the reinvention of the technology. You see, some underground places used to be connected with this kind of cars. They were not using, they were using electromagnetic energy, apparently. Some cars are quite old and rusted. One of the original pneumatic dispatch company vehicles. There are books that talk about these underground tunnels, you see, and these tunnels are used over the waters or some under the water to transport goods. Or so sometimes they are not transporting people, they are just transporting different objects to different places. So this is the pneumatic dispatch, first operated in London, 1861. So it's like a railway for transportation different goods. So if they can transport goods, why not transport people? First, so this was used to transport mail through the pneumatic form. District office in Liverpool Street, Luxton Station. Okay, let's see. Now, this is the plan of a city that has underground tunnels for transporting. This is London, England. And they have this plan for transportation, underground transportation, using tunnels, transportation of people, of mail. So in 1861, the system was already built or rediscovered. People were transported with this cars. They built them a little bit larger at a later date. This is a station of a pneumatic tunnel the tube on the opening day. That's how it looked. So this is a sketch of a tube station. As I said, they had some sort of electricity. They have circular tubing that melt the stone and vitrified. These are other type of subway transportation, and this looks very much like a New York station. I like to show you how a present New York station look like. These are subway station in New York City, and I can confirm that I saw uh, and I saw such station. You see? City Hall subway station. That's how they look like. Let's continue with our tubular underground transportation system. Now, we want to acknowledge that underground, there are not only tunnels, there are tunnels with water. So at some point, these uh, cars, transportation wagons, could have uh, floated on water or on electromagnetic energy. Uh, the fact that was widely used are the large amount of sketches for this pneumatic station. This is New York City. In 1500, we had new post office, Broadway, and Underground Railway. So this is New York City. This is sketch where water pipe were, sewer, and the tubular transportation system was at a much lower uh, altitude, let's say. Testing correction position at night. This is how they explain the opening of the Broadway system and how it worked. They had multiple lines. This is the schematic of the uh, the machine that cut into the ground, the boring machine, and how it was used, underground tunneling machine. So we have this tunneling system for a long time. We have a subway station in St. Petersburg. So that's how a person was transported initially. This was their plan. That's the system of moving the mail from one point to another, and this type of systems are still in not necessarily in use, but can be seen in San Francisco. I've been to a hotel where they still had this kind of systems for moving letters from one floor to another to the mailing person. This is the Broadway pneumatic tunnel article. In 1867, it was a pneumatic railway system, pneumatic railway patent. Ely Beach. Then we have the system of transportation using magnetic field. It was largely used because we have more picture. You won't have any picture if you or schematics if you don't have the system functional. So in 1867, section of the Thames embankment. This was in England, so UK and New York. These were the systems that evolved and were used for public transportation. So it says pneumatic railway for passenger at the Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace was an exhibition at in London, Great Britain, that was destroyed theoretically by fire, probably intentionally destroyed to destroy the information and decrease the knowledge, consciousness of people after the destruction, major destruction of the old technology. Recovering the remain of an old mailbag truck during excavation in Simeyor Street, Euston Square. So it was a pneumatic tube. Now here we have a passive maglev, permanent rail engineering. You have a vacuum pump. You have a passive magnetic levitating car, an induction motor, a vacuum tube, and the pod. So this is how, so basically this car were levitating on a linear induction motor. You create a vacuum at one side, and so the car move because of the difference of pressure in air before and after the car. They really existed, so this is the proof. They were close to the public. That's how a car look like. You see? They are real. Probably still in use by some people, but we don't really know much about that. Uh, Thank you to Natasha Perik. And these last pictures were taken from her Facebook page, and I have here the link. So let's see. Again, these train stations with round walls are still in existence uh, in Manhattan, New York City. Some are highly decorated, but are not in function anymore. You see, these were taken out of use. So this was my presentation for today. Thank you for your time. See you next time.